In other news, after more than a year of constant Israeli attacks, Hamas is still able to launch rockets into Israel. John Jessup has that story and more from our CBN News Bureau in Washington. John?
That's right, Gordon. Hamas just this week fired a strike into the Israeli town of Sderot. CBN News examines how Hamas can keep up its rocket attacks and also has more information about Hamas using a hospital as a base of operations. CBN's Paul Strand brings us a story from Jerusalem.
Israel is still discovering weapons, tunnels, and terrorists in Gaza. Despite being hit by repeated attacks for so long, Hamas is still able to launch rockets at Israel. Most of them are falling in open spaces or back into Gaza, but one did hit a house in Sderot earlier this week, causing a little damage but no injuries. CBN war correspondent Chuck Holton explains how Hamas keeps their rockets hidden from Israeli forces.
They're going back into places that the IDF has already been, but they didn't find those rockets. And we have to explain to people how this works. Hamas was going around before the war, digging holes all over Gaza and making rocket launchers underground, covering them up with a piece of plywood and then a bunch of dirt.
Holton says Hamas then uses those locations for more attacks.
They go and in a place where the IDF has already been and they've cleared and then they've moved out of, the Hamas operatives will move back in there, uncover one of these and light off some of these rockets.
As Israel keeps up its military pressure on Hamas, the IDF has faced international criticism for its recent attack on the Kamal Adwan hospital in northern Gaza. But at least one Hamas prisoner is admitting the terror group used it as a shelter.
They believe it's a safe haven for them because the military cannot directly target it.
The prisoner, who was also an employee in the hospital, said Hamas operatives transported equipment to and from the hospital and used it as an observation point and command and control center.
Inside the hospital, they distribute the grenades and mortars, equipment for attacking tanks to ambush positions and to underground tunnels.
Paul Strand, CBN News, Jerusalem.